Part 2, power surge. Yep. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? So interesting. So in our little break right there, Spirit and I had a little conversation about WTF, right? Yeah. Thinking, dude, come on, right? I haven't done it. I was off last week. Come on, help me out here, right? Yeah. So interesting. So interesting. So let's see if who else finds me back again. Okay. Hey, Liz. And we'll finish the conversation. Hello again, Nancy. And Kathy. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So see who else pops on for the next minute or two, and we could just wrap it up for whatever we're going to do. Yeah, right, thanks, Sherry, right? Gosh, crazy, crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It is crazy. I love it, but it's crazy. There we go. Hi, Nancy. Awesome, awesome. Thank you. So, in the first part of this video, Spirit was talking about death and change, and how we're not always prepared for it, right? We're never really prepared for death, but there's an instance where my sister had the same dream about coming to see me in Hawaii, and she's coming back from Hawaii in first class, and she's sitting next to a woman, same woman, every single dream that she had, recurring dream. And the woman asks her, "Are you going to work? Or are you going home from Hawaii?" And my sister replies, "No, I was just at my brother's for a month. I'm going home for another 2 weeks. Then I'm going back." And the woman said, "Oh my gosh, that's great." And when my sister would tell me that, I would wonder, well, Dale's not going to allow her to be gone for a month. There's no way. They don't have that kind of arrangement, right? They had a traditional marriage. And I never told her about that. I never, about my conversations and things like that. And then we find out that he has leukemia. So that makes perfect sense. They were telling her, I don't know if she never questioned. She never questioned, well, how can I go away for a month? All right. But they were kind of letting her know that change was coming. Okay. And it happened very, very fast. Very fast. But when things change, when we get a divorce, our children grow up, our parent dies, a friend dies, we lose a job, right? It is always for the betterment of you. Always for the betterment of you. Many, many times, people will, in a divorce, they will be the one who was divorced, okay? And they go into this place of, oh my God, depending on how long they've been together, but usually they go into a place of, I can't survive without him. They're doing this, that, and the other thing with my children around, and blah, 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 blah. It's all 12-year-old ego stuff, right? Why does that happen? Because they're kicking you out of that 12-year-old spot, right? Because they need you to grow. And again, I've said this a million times, and I'll say it a million more. If you don't change what needs to be changed, they will change it for you. Because they need you to stay on, to stay in part with your soul contract, your soul journey, right? Has to. They're going to do everything they possibly can. They need to deliver you at every benchmark, right? That your soul's expecting. Because that's the plan. That is definitely the plan. So every time something changes, ego's going to grab hold of that and try to heart tug you. Oh my gosh, okay. If it has to do with money, yes. If it has to do with housing, yes. Fear, right? The way it is. Until it doesn't happen like that. Like for myself, I know these things happened, the feeling that I've gotten, the contentment that I have, there's no fear involved at all about what has changed. At all. Do I miss Bailey? Big time. Am I going to miss Dale? Big time. He's like my brother. I mean, he never said a bad word about me, always welcomed me in his house. It was just this, it was just this thing. Because I was my sister's brother, right? Now, that's pretty cool. He loved my father, like a father, right? So he's part of the family. He died on my mom's birthday. Well, guess what? Soul family, right? So understanding that everything happens how it's supposed to happen for us. For us. Not about them. It's about us. Happened in Ross's case, right? He's 26. And I will tell you this, that before his dad passed away, he was in church and hadn't been to church in probably at least 15 years. But went to church, right? Because his dad went to church every Sunday. That's just who he was. And Ross had sat in the pew, and all of a sudden, because he's clairvoyant, all of a sudden he got energy in his shoulder, and then it went up his neck, and it went to his head, and then his crown chakra lit up. Okay? And he heard this from Spirit. The reason that your father decided to pass away, because your grandma's lonely. And he misses her too. And he's taught you everything that he's supposed to teach you this lifetime. He was crying, and people thought it was the pastor. No, his guides gave him that message to give him peace. And it worked. It helped. So don't be surprised, right? When something is going on in your life, if you can get yourself as calm as possible, which can be difficult, okay? Because fear kicks in. Because we believe we don't know. We're not supposed to know. Not supposed to, right? I only knew because of my connection to my guides, which all of us can have. It is just doing it and taking ourselves out of our third dimensional energy, which we're comfortable in. So when things change, when people leave, when people pass, right? It is our opportunity to, once we start the grieving process, right? That we can look in, we can go, okay, these are the things that I know I need to work on, because right now I feel like I'm spiraling out of control. The spiraling out of control is what is the lack of that energy still being around, Spirit says, and your navigational system's off, right? It doesn't know where the energy went. And also, human is in sorrow. It's in grief, chimes. And it's going to take time to keep your equilibrium back. It's going to take time for you to allow conversations, but some are sooner than others. Some are sooner than others. Through breakdowns, right? Through breakdowns, through emotional breakdowns. Because again, your parent's gone, that you love dearly. Your spouse is gone, which you love dearly. A child's gone, right? A job is gone. Job is just like a human, okay? Most people's job is so important to them. It is so connected to them, right? Because they love it. If they didn't love it, they would leave it. Or they're doing it because they have to, right? So it isn't an easy thing. It can be drudgery. But once that's gone, fear kicks in. Either you quit your job or you got let go. Fear kicks in because that's all ego knows, right? Oh my God, I should have done A, B, C, D. No, it doesn't look like that. So when those things happen to us, which are going to happen continually in 23 and also into 24. Okay? We have to stay as conscious as we can, yeah, everybody. We have to. We have to try and stay as conscious as we can. And sometimes meditation doesn't work. Okay? Sometimes you got to go to talk to a therapist. Truly do. Because there's so much stuff inside of us from our childhood. Okay? There's so much, and I talked about this today to somebody, that there's so much that we bring from past life. So much we bring from past lives, especially now, because now is the time when we're shedding all of it. Only, Spirit has said, yeah, but in some people, it's in our bone marrow, it's in our DNA, because we're so darn old. Our souls are so old, right? So it is very, very important that we understand that when it comes up, we release it. When it comes up, we release it. And if that means you go to therapy, I went to therapy for 8 years in a row, every Wednesday at 2 o'clock. Every Wednesday at 2 o'clock. And if it was a holiday, I was doing it sometime in that week because I knew how much better I felt after letting inch by inch go from not only this lifetime, but from past lifetime too. It's very, very, very interesting because I was not this person then. We're talking about 2000, okay, 2000, 2008. Yeah. So when those changes happen, we have to make sure that we have support, okay, that we have understanding with ourselves, right? I told my sister many times, I said, you need to freaking cry. I've cried a lot. I know you have. You know, did we cry at the funeral? Yeah. Pretty emotional, right? Because Dale had made this videotape. He knew 5 days in he was going to die. He was going to die in 5 days. Okay? And that, that to me is absolutely remarkable. That you can have that conversation with God, with the universe, right? With your people. And make and understand that you're going to pass away. I don't know. I know we can all do it, but to think about it, but this man called the pastor, or my sister called the pastor came in to plan his funeral with the music that he wanted he was boom, 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 boom. I want it to be at 11 o'clock on Saturday at the Lutheran church, right? Afterwards, I want a party. Everybody's going to be there, blah, 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 blah. I want it to be a celebration. So they made this beautiful pictorial of his life, okay? And then during the funeral process, they played 3 different songs that were inspired by Dale at the beginning, Martha, my sister, and Ross, my nephew, okay? They all had a song, and in between that, there was pictorials about, it was fascinating. But Dale had planned all that. I guess that's when you make peace with God. You make peace with the universe, right? I don't know. But it fascinated me that there was this man who was going to be gone within days, but told the pastor exactly what he wanted and the music that he wanted and planned it all out. That is making peace with who you are, right? My sister was flabbergasted because of the way that it turned out, that he knew exactly what he wanted. She goes, I don't think I could do that. I said, well, it came really fast. So when things change, even in that situation, right, everybody? You know you have 7 days to live. What? We either rise up and we want to be remembered a certain way, because that's in our soul journey, or we're not supposed to. It's somebody else's job to do that for us, right? So as things change, everybody, you go into higher dimensional energy. As things change, you look at your stuff and you go, okay, gone, 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 gone. Got to work on these 5 things. right? I've got to grow myself up. You know, the marriage broke up. Something happened with my spouse because it was supposed to. And that's not against me. That's what they decided they wanted to do in this lifetime. And my soul bought into it. We pick our spouses. We pick our moms. We pick our dads. We pick our children. They pick us. We're only, hang on. We're only strangers when we come to earth. We're not strangers up here. Not strangers in our soul bubble family, right? No, we're not. We pick the people. And then it comes into energy lines, right? Energy lines. Energy lines are when you start an energy line with a human being and you pass before your energy line's done. Let's say it's 100 years. Let's say it's 70 years, 80 years, okay? If you die at 63, you got 17, 18, 19 more years to do with that human soul. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you have 30 years with that soul, in my sister's case, and it's done. And it's done. We don't know all of that yet, right? We don't. I know about relationships with people. The way the Spirit looks at it is in a energy line. That, okay, that person was in your life and divorced you after 14 years because you hadn't finished the energy line last lifetime. Or you started a new one this lifetime and you got 14 years with this person. But trust me, you're going to see that person again next lifetime in a better environment. That's how it works. So the more that we can be conscious about our future, the more we can be conscious about what we want in this lifetime. And that doesn't mean that you have answers for everything. That's not the point. The point is truly inside of our hearts, inside of our existence, that we understand and know that everything happens to us, our soul signed up for. Why would I do that? Trust me, many conversations like that, right? But they must have thought, your soul is your spine. It must have thought, yeah, he can do this stuff. Yeah, she can do that too. Yeah, he can too. You can too. Oh yeah, yeah. See, we come to earth for the bad stuff. We don't come to earth for the good stuff. That's not what being human is all about. The good stuff is sprinkled in, Spirit always says. It's sprinkled in. Does that mean it's going to change? Definitely. Because that's third dimensional. Third dimensional is I come to earth for the trauma. I come to earth for the negative emotion. I come to earth to struggle and to survive. Yeah. We're going back to where we came from 12,500 years ago, which is fifth dimension. To allow us to go higher and higher and higher into a spiritual place where everyone's in balance. It's more androgynous, right? It's a Gen Zers. People say the Gen Zers they're not like us. They don't have any commitment. Commitment's 3D. And everybody who's older, who's not conscious, let's just say, knows they're going to find their way because they're going to run the world in the next 10 years. Trust me, they are. Right? And if we're smart enough, if we're connected enough, if we do our work like we're supposed to do our work, we'll be right there with them. Be right there with them. So when things change, there's a reason for it. There's definitely a reason for it. And 99% of the time, it is because it's about us. About us. Us getting to a keystone, right? Us getting to the place where, okay, they're telling me that we've got that, as an example, we've got 5 years before we're going to move to Maui, so we got to make it hard on Bill. Make it hard on Bill. Okay, well, they didn't let me in on that clue, right? I'll be all fancy pants and flowers and puppies and that kind of stuff. No. Not understanding in 2018 that we're here for the struggle. We're here for the releasing, Spirit says. Releasing. Why are we here? at this time because we chose to be here and feeling and having the feeling of release, having the feeling of letting go, having the feeling of absolutely achieving our goal, Spirit says. Achieving our goal, which is very third dimensional, right? He said, because then you all can relax and just go with the flow. Go with the flow, go with the flow, go with the flow. And that's the truth. That is definitely the truth. See? Because as you start to let stuff go, as you start to realize that it no longer serves you, and you're cool with it. You're cool with it. You're like, okay, I get it. I get it. I'm comfortable. I understand that. And I made peace with it. That's the key. You have to make peace with it. You've got to kick ego out of the freaking driver's seat, right? No, shut up. That's not true. I'm not listening to that because that's not true. Forget it. Not doing, no. No, we're not doing that. This is the way that we're going, right? This is the way that we're going. And that's what's so very, very important. So as you have those losses, right? And you come to terms with the person being gone. Takes time. The job being gone. Takes time. Child being gone. Takes time. Even if a child gets married, even if a child moves away from mom and dad, it's an adjustment. Because guess what? That energy's not there anymore. It's the same on the phone, same on FaceTime. Okay, but it's not, their energy's not around you any longer. Which again, your body has to recalculate itself. Plain and simple, has to. See? Because that person moving away, that person passing away, is a loss. It's a loss. And in your soul journey, that's a keystone, right? Boom, boom, boom. Person dies here, person moves away here, like to Taiwan or someplace that you can't really get to really fast. Yeah. It's so that you can grow even more and more and more when that energy is not around. Because you're able not only to see what you need to work on, but the reasons why. Because it's no longer a cocoon around us when that person's gone. Okay? And I know that my sister is feeling, okay, Ross is in Tennessee this weekend. He's got a buddy who's getting married. My sister's all by herself. Right? And she's facing that reality after me me leaving too, that, okay, this is real. Because she said to me when I was there, she said that the funeral's like hanging over my head. It's hanging over my head. And I'm so looking forward to the funeral. The burial was 2 days later because he was cremated. He went in with his mom, which was perfect, right? Because that's what he wanted to do. Because, again, he passed away because he's supposed to be with his mom. Right? And he died on my mom's birthday. Right? So it's like total soul family. Total soul family. But when you can do that, right? And my sister, I talked to her this morning on a little text, and she goes, yeah, I had a breakdown last night. I said, good for you. Good for you. Good for you. You know, that's reality, everybody. And everybody has to do that on their own time. I know that my sister is now guided more than she's ever been in her life. And I've even guided her with the understanding that she's going to spend a lot of time in Maui. She had the dream, right? 4 different times. 4 different times in less than a year. The same dream was sitting next to the same woman. No, that's not spirit saying, yo, chick, pay attention to this, will you? She would call me on the phone and say, I had the dream again last night. Okay, cool. Not me explaining to her, well, where's Dale going to be? See, she never thought of that. They completely kept her in the dark with that dream. Where Big Brother was like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to say anything because it's either going to be a divorce. I was not told he was going to pass. Nothing. Just he wasn't there because he would never let her come to Hawaii for a month. I know Dale. There's no way he's going to let that happen, right? So everything that happens to us is for the betterment of us. For the betterment of us. Chimes. Okay? It may not seem like it at the time. And it can be tragic. It can be effed up. Be whatever you want to call it. But it's evolution. Them getting us to evolve. Them taking a piece of the pie away. Which is our energy. Literally taking it away. And us having to surround that piece that's gone to make us whole again. Make us whole again. Hardest thing in the world. I haven't lost anybody since my mom in 1988. My dad in 2014. My brother, yeah. But it's nothing, you know, it was more for my sister when my dad passed, right? And she's had a very trauma-filled life. But she knows this is the end of it. End of it. And that's the key. How she had that epiphany, I know why. She kind of made the realization that, oh, I think they told me something. It's the end of this of this chapter of my life. Bill, I think everything's going to be great now since Dale's passed. Or when Dale passes, she said. Them. Giving her guidance, giving her knowledge, and trying to give her peace and calm. And she felt like that. And it doesn't mean he's going to leave her alone, because he was playing tricks on her the whole week I was there. I mean, all kinds of stuff. But that's the relationship that they had. He loved to poke her. And he's not going anywhere, right? He's just there. He talked to me all freaking week. He talked to me on the way to Colorado. You know, I'm sitting on the plane ready to leave, and again, right? I get a little wince, like, okay, what's going on with that? Chills up my neck, da-da-da-da. I'm like, must be somebody here on the plane. I don't know what that is. And then I didn't really pay any attention. And then I got it 3 minutes later, another zap of energy. I'm like, what the hell? What's going on? There's something, never realizing that Dale was gone. Because yeah. And he says, Bill? I'm like, yeah, Dale. It was him. You got to take care of Martha. I will. I promise. You know, I have since she was a child. I'll take care of her for the rest of our lives, if that's what it's about, which I know it is. And but again, not putting two and two together. But him just being gone a couple days, and because he talked to me after he passed, and this was probably 3 weeks after he passed, and I'm telling you what, I wasn't paying attention. You know, thinking, who the hell's trying to, oh my gosh, Bill. I'm like, yeah, Dale. In his voice, in 3 weeks after he passed away. Right? And I go to my sister's, and I'm sick, and then I get her sick, and then Russ's girlfriend gets sick, and all these people sick. And I'm like, what the hell? I don't get it. And it's about transformation. It's about taking the time to do nothing. Being on your freaking back with nothing but your thoughts and the feeling that you're yucky. That you just feel yucky. Right? To make you stop and ponder. To feel the feelings. To cry. Anger's not here yet. Right? It's just sorrow. But understanding, it's going to go, we can't rush it. It's going to come as it's supposed to come for us. For us. For our soul, for our spirit, for our bodies, for everything. Because our soul signed that freaking contract. It's going to take me X amount of days for this. It's going to take me weeks for this. It's going to take me months for this. Okay, get it. Just like losing a job. Just like losing a parent. Just like losing a pet. Right? Or a child. It's all in that cocoon of transformation. It's all in that cocoon, busting that thing open and being that freaking flower, that butterfly, and becoming who we're supposed to become. That's the key. And reminding ourselves of that. Why is this happening to me? Had I been this smart 2 years ago, 3 years ago, this connected, I could have saved myself a whole lot of grief, a whole lot of WTFs. But understanding, I wasn't supposed to. None of us are, right? Anybody who believes that they can get through this transformation with la-da-da-dee-dee-dee is kidding themselves. Totally kidding themselves. Hey, Trace Parker. So that is what is so very, very important about this time, is that as we receive death, endings, right? It's because a new season is beginning. I always thought that was like whatever, right? It's awful simple. No, it's what it is. Understanding that, I can look at this myself and it absolutely is an amazing time, even though I've lost 2 people, things that I dearly love. Because there's better things ahead. There's a better Bailey ahead. For my sister, there's new men ahead, right? And that's what we have to keep hold of, is understanding as much as we possibly can to give ourselves a freaking break and let ourselves cry, let ourselves feel our feelings, let ourselves go through the process of sorrow, anger, kind of a WTF kind of thing, right? Which is very third dimensional, okay? And then we come out the other side in years. I will tell you that I've had this conversation with Spirit, where it will be easier for us in the future because we'll be less third dimensional. We will feel different. We will love different. We will see things different. All right? And that, I know, it doesn't be so hard, right? Will we still miss the person? Yes. Is love still love? Yes. Still there. It could be loss of a friend, right? In death. Or maybe we had to push him away for the betterment of us. And I will say this again. You have to be selfish. You're the number one person in your life. No one else. No one else. Because no one's going to take care of you like you can take care of you. In a functional self. In a functional way, right? And it's time to grow up. It's time to grow up. So where you are in this place of WTF, or you're feeling bad about things, you're feeling, why did this happen to me? Guess why? You signed up for it. Give yourself a freaking break and move on, right? Put your best foot forward. Think as positive as you can. Does that mean that you can't still beat the pillows with a freaking tennis racket? Oh, hell, you can. Get all that energy out of your body? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. You gotta do that with no one's around, though. Right? That's what it's about. Being in control of us. Being in control of us. And allowing us to be guided by the universe. By everything that's going on at this point. That is infusing us with this amazing, beautiful knowledge that none of us know where it came from. We think, but sometimes it blows my mind when I know. That's why when I say to people all the time, you're going to wake up one day, you're going to go, how do I know that? How do I know that? And what the hell is that? And I know, as you ascend into that energy, that your feeling is beautiful. That all your stuff starts to go away. All of your bull starts to go away. You see everything different. You start to appreciate yourself. And you stop beating yourself up. And you stop coulda, woulda, shoulda. Everybody has an expiration date. In a marriage, in a job, in life. The way it is. Keystones are there. Boom, 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 boom. Do we know it? Not yet. Soul knows it? They know it? Oh, yeah. That's what the deal is. And then we remind ourselves of that, right? and we cherish the good stuff. We really focus on the good stuff, and we document it, and we talk on our phones about it, right? How wonderful it is. But you also do the same thing with your negative comments, and you also do it with your bad experiences. Because when you start to channel, because you're going to, all right? I mean, I've talked to people in the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, who stuff just comes out of their mouth. Of course it does. Because you're aligned with the divine, Spirit always says. You're aligned. You're standing right underneath the charger. And you're talking to somebody, and all of a sudden, blah, 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 comes out of your mouth. You go, well, where the hell did that come from? That sounds like Bill, or that sounds like this, or that sounds like that. Yeah. Because we're, hang on. He just showed me a plug going into an outlet in the wall, right? He says, some people put it in a little bit and they go, how come the fan's not working? You know, because you got to put it all the way in to get the supercharge. Okay, so they put it in a little bit more and the fan still doesn't work, right? Then they go, shoot, they jam it in, all of a sudden, woo, and the fan comes on, right? So that's what I got to do. Yeah, you have to plug yourself in to Spirit. It's true. It's true. Is it easy to find the plug in the dark? Hell no. But can you ask him to guide your hand so you can connect? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Like Spirit, WTF. Maybe it's not the right time. Right? Maybe you're in the middle of a thing, right? Of a death, of anything. Or just being unconscious, being in conflict, being whatever it might be, because those things are cloudy, right? And then once we allow them to clear the clouds and the negative energy from inside of our body and outside of our body, then we can see where the plug goes in. I know. He says, and at any time, you can pull the plug out a little bit to make it stop. But you won't. You won't. Because you're excited to be connected, and you're excited to have the knowledge, and you're excited for what's next. But most people, I will say, want it like that. Understanding. 6 or 7 years ago, when I was gung-ho, the frickin', I can do anything, I was a muggle, then you know what all of this was, right? Come on, I can do it. Come on, I can do it. Come on, I can do it. And Spirit said to me one day, if we gave you all the power that you're going to have in the future, your brain would either zoom out, right? Just completely fry. You'd be sitting in a mental hospital in a straitjacket rocking on the floor. Or your brain just blows up. But we can't do that. It can't be that hard. Can it, Spirit? Come on. Again, it was kind of a dumb comment to make. But I was dumb. Spiritually ignorant. Didn't have any idea what it was. Now, when the left side of my head tingles, and it's like, ooh, this is pretty freaking cool. Now I understand, right? That it takes time for them to activate our brains. It takes time for things to be activated. It's already been downloaded. It's just a fact that right place, right time. And they have to develop parts of our brain that we've never used before. In this lifetime. In 3D. In 5D, 12,500 years ago, we used it. But then our brains were smaller too. Right? So it all kind of works the way that it actually works. Yeah. So, I want to talk about one more thing. And if you guys have questions, just put them down there. Put them in the feed, and I will answer them before I delete this about 7, 8 o'clock tonight. Okay. A very cool thing happened. I mean, this is divine. All right? Divine, divine. 2 weeks ago, on Thursday, about 5 after 6, one of my dear friends, who I've known since she was probably 3, okay? I was kind of her big brother, kind of thing. Took care of her, bought him school clothes and things like that, because I was dating their older brother, but we didn't think anybody knew, but everybody knew in the 1970s, you know, scandal. About 5 after 6, I get a phone call from her, and she says, Billy, are you, I heard on Coaching for the Soul that you're moving to Kihei, Hawaii. I'm like, yeah, I am. Yeah, we're both going, blah, blah, blah. She goes, well, I said, yeah, we're going to take a vacation before we go so that I can kind of, be on the island and, for like a week or two, see what it's all about, feel the energy. Everything's going to fall into place, I believe. And she goes, well, I have a timeshare in Kihei I'd like to gift you for a week. That blew my mind. This person that I've known all of her life, basically, and is a dear friend, right? Heard on Coaching for the Soul, they're moving to Kihei, Maui. She's washing dishes. She goes, oh my God, Billy's moving to Kihei. And I need to gift him a week. So she's gifting me a week in Kihei. Could be possible 3 different locations. Either a 3-bedroom condo or a great hotel room or a house or something like that for free. That's divine intervention. So when I tell you, everybody, as things start to happen, it's real. Keep that amazement. I was blown away. Blown away. And when I told Lee about it, when I go home from work, he was stunned. And he actually said to me, I never thought it was real until now. I never thought us moving was real until now. With that right there. Because we're planning the vacation. Don't know when, right? We're like, I don't know when it's going to happen, but I know that they've told me it's going to happen before we move. I believe the move's going to happen in October, right? So then that. So is it a miracle? No. It's soul journey. That's what blows my mind, right? It's a freaking keystone. And that is the most remarkable thing ever. And it's proof. It's proof, everybody, that if you believe, as you connect, as you get deeper into who you are, that you have a job to do, that you have a destiny to do, right? It's a destiny. And you can't stop it. Do we know the time and day? No. They told me 5 years ago we were moving to Maui in 2018. Our time is linear. Again, I always say, no time up here. There's just keystones, just markers. See? So the blessing is I was open to receiving that. There's a reason she doesn't watch Coaching for the Soul that often. But there's a reason why she watched it that day. So she, again, her soul journey was to gift me a week in Kihei, Maui. So we're going to get together, decide what week, but with the COVID and with the people passing and things like that, the funerals and things like that, I know that they'll make it happen when we're supposed to have a conversation. See? That's how you know, everybody, that they're listening all the time. You may not think that, but they're listening to everything that you say. Trust me, they're listening to everything that you say. And so it is, that's why I say you have to speak out loud. That's why I say that you have to talk. Because that passion you have inside, that fear you have inside, they react to that. And I'm truly blessed. They told me, after Bailey died. We're going to move forward. And I'm so thankful and so blessed that it's happening the way that they've told me it's going to happen. I'll be honest. Ego still plays with that. But that's why I am so passionate about speaking out loud, talking out loud to your spirit guides. You hear that and you believe it. Or ego triggers you. And you go, another trigger for ego. Ego, stop. Ego, stop. Ego, stop. They're giving you every opportunity for growth. They're giving you every opportunity to connect. They're giving you every opportunity to love who you are and to allow them to move you where they need to move you to, because you're a pivotal player in not only your life, but the life of the collective. Truly. You are a piece of the collective. And you can procrastinate, you can fight it, do whatever you want to do. But guess what? I know, no one that watches Coaching for the Soul, any of the programs, right? You're not going anywhere. All right? Not going anywhere, but forward. Not going to happen. So as you get those challenges, remember how important you are to the collective, to the light workers. I've said this many, many times. Believe in your heart that you are somebody, because you are. Truly are. Do you see your light? Some do, some don't. But they see your light. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Because as your light gets brighter and brighter and brighter, everyone will find you. Everyone will find you. As you go through your process of growth, as you go through your trials and tribulations, growth, as you deal with your endings, your deaths, growth. Everything's leading you to being who you're supposed to be in the next 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. It's very important, because as you receive the blessings, as you receive the information, as you begin to understand the energy that you carry, that you are absolutely powerful and absolutely amazing, absolutely connected, that your human lets everything else go. As the energy continues to shift higher, as things start to fall into place for you. Am I excited? Yes. Is there fear in there? Oh, yeah. I'm moving like 12 hours away. 12 hours away. 12 hours by plane. I think that's what it is. Yeah. And absolutely allowing it to happen, right? Because we can't control it. I know the sickness that I've had the past 2 weeks, the cold, the COVID, the everything, blah, 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 the transformational stuff, getting the last bits of that third dimensional garbage out of my body, transforming my sister and my nephew and his girlfriend and all the people that I know in Colorado. See? Understanding that I know when I get there, there's work to do. I know once I step on that island, everything shifts. Everything shifts into higher dimensional. Do I look forward to it? Oh, big time. Do I think about how am I going to do it? No. I put that away. No. Because that's ego. So when things happen to us, everybody, I don't want you to believe that it's not for the betterment of you. Because it is. It is. And as callous as it sounds, You signed the damn contract. And you got to remind yourself of that. And that should give you peace. That your soul knew exactly what it was doing when it signed the contract. They're going to get easier? Of course it is. Is life going to be different? Of course it is. Is life going to change? Of course it is. Are you going to lose people? Of course. Because you're going here, understanding this. You're here, others are here. As you grow, you can have people that grow with you, right? But guess what happens? You're always going to be in higher dimensional energy than most of the people around you. Then your children will blow past you, and you'll be like, okay, what the hell just happened with that? How come they know more than I do? Because they're born to be starseeds. They're born to be those. They're born to be those humans on the planet which are already enlightened. Ours is just hidden underneath a lot of garbage and junk like that. Okay. So if you have questions, guys, like I said, put them in the feed. I will answer them. I usually answer them about 6 o'clock, and I'll probably delete the the video from my Facebook page about 8, 9 o'clock, unless I forget. I'll do it tomorrow, right? I don't know. But thank you, everybody. Thanks for hanging around. Thank you for, hey, Bonnie. Hey, Aaron. Thank you for the blip, right? With the with the energy going, with the power going off in the apartment. Need anything, guys, let me know. You know my phone number. It's on the website. I'm still doing readings every day. If you guys want something like that. Element packages are phenomenal. If you want coaching, if you want monthly stuff, if you want all kinds of my energy, okay? elementsessions.com or billhobart.com. Coaching every single month, up to an hour and a half every month. I have unlimited questions. It's all available on billhobart.com under Element Coaching Sessions or elementsessions.com. Yeah. So I'll see everybody next week on Thursday at 3. And like I said, if you need something, let me know. See you guys.